to Breakthrough Kitchen. Today we're going to be making a Pico De Gallo, which is a Mexican side dish. So what we're going to be doing for this recipe is we're going to be using a cooking technique called a Concasse. And we're going to be doing a tomato concasse, which is where we pretty much boil the tomato for 30 seconds. And then we take it out, peel it, and then we work with the tomato from there. So what we're going to do is score it, it just means we're going to be cutting a little like plus sign on the bottom of it so that it can be easier to peel later. And then we're just going to be placing it into the boiling hot water for about 30 seconds, moving it around, making sure that all the sides are in that boiling water if you don't have a pot big enough like I do. And I'm just going to do that with both of my tomatoes. So Pico de Gallo actually gets its name from the Spanish translation beak of rooster. People used to actually eat Pico de Gallo pinching the ingredients between their fingers, so their hand gesture would look similar to the beak of a rooster. But nowadays we eat it with tortilla chips. Back in the day they had their own way of doing things, but that's just how it got its name. So now that we have our tomatoes cooked, we're going to go ahead and peel them. We're going to go from that scoring that we did and just peel back. And it should be fairly easy if you did it for the right amount of time and your tomato was at the right ripeness that it should be for this recipe. Because you don't want, obviously, a super green tomato. That's going to take a little bit longer than a very ripe tomato for the skin to be able to peel off like this. So one thing that everybody always asks is, what is the difference between Pico de Gallo and salsa? So the difference is that Pico de Gallo is a fresh, uncooked mixture, and it's usually a chunkier consistency. And salsa is a thinner consistency, and sometimes it's left chunky or pureed, but it has more liquid regardless than a Pico de Gallo. And even though we briefly cooked our tomato here, this is still considered a raw tomato, and this is still considered a uncooked recipe. And you might be thinking, why did we have to do this tomato concasse? Well, doing this eliminates that bitter flavor that comes from not only the peel that we just peeled off, the skin, but right now what we're going to do is remove the seeds. And the seeds also have a bitter taste that you don't want to find throughout your Pico de Gallo, because the lemon, the acidity, it's not gonna kill that bitter seed and skin taste. So what we're gonna do right now is just lay the tomato down and take our knife and kind of go under, right above where the skin would start, and then just cut from there to the end of the tomato. So when we finish cutting, we should have one part that is mostly just like the flesh, like all the kind of the gooey and seed parts, and maybe like the inner membrane of the tomato that is sort of hard. And then we should have one part that is just like a flat tomato that we could just cut and dice how we please. And I'm just gonna do a small dice for this, and I'm gonna do this for all of my tomatoes. But like I was saying, once you do this tomato concasse and you remove that bitter skin and that bitter flesh, you have a perfectly good tomato that's ready to be enjoyed raw. So once we have everything chopped up, I'm going to bring out a pretty large bowl, and I'm going to add all of my tomato to the bowl. And now, as you could have seen earlier, I had chopped up red onion, I had chopped up jalapeno, I had some chopped up garlic, and some chopped up cilantro. And on the side, I also have some lime juice, some tomato juice, off the side you can't see I have olive oil and cumin. So now I'm just gonna add as much as I personally prefer for myself, because I cut up a pretty good amount of all these little ingredients, but I just added how much I wanted for the quantity of tomato that I had. So then I mixed that up, and now I'm gonna go and add the flavoring. What I'm going to start with is some tomato juice, and I'm going to go really light on my quantities because obviously you could always add more, but you can't take any out. So I just added some olive oil, some salt, you can't forget that, some black pepper, now I'm adding some cumin, and I'm going to mix. And I'm gonna taste. Always taste and see what you need. Now I needed more tomato juice, more salt, and I don't even think I added the lime juice the first time, so I added my lime juice now. And I'm gonna mix and taste again. And now I think I still added some more salt and cumin. But the thing about the cumin, you don't want to forget it because it adds a layer of warmth to the Pico De Gallo. But you also do not want to go overboard with the cumin because it's really easy to. And another thing is, if you let this sit, the cumin flavor is going to be stronger, so use it very sparingly. So now I think I tasted it and it was fine. And I actually think oh no, more cumin. Okay, yeah, now I think I pulled out a tortilla chip, but I went ahead and had some. You could also find this full written recipe on my website at breakthroughkitchen.com. It should be in the description box, along with a link to this direct recipe. Yes, this was my Pico De Gallo recipe. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. If you guys try it out, make sure you tag me on Instagram and your stories, whatever you guys want to do. And leave a comment and subscribe. I appreciate you guys so much for watching.